100-71, the Stars get the win over Langston today. Here with Coach Mark Berokoff. And Coach, your thoughts on the game today?
I was really pleased with our kids' effort. I mean, all the way through. Langston played John Brown on Thursday night and played him really well. And they only have 6 guys, and you could tell they gave everything on Thursday. So we tried to use as much as our bench tonight. But I was just pleased with our effort. That's all you could ask for.
Fast start, you never look back. Lots of threes to start the game. Corey Guest led the way, but when the shots are falling, it makes it a little bit easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks really good when the shots are falling. It's when they're not. But we've been really talking about working the ball and being unselfish, like we've talked about before. And the kids are really starting to buy into it. And it showed on Thursday at Central, and it showed here today.
Speaking of unselfish, Rashawn Coleman, 12 assists today, and a lot of them had a big wow factor to him. He had some no-look passes. He was really seeing the court well today, I guess is what you'd say.
Yeah, I mean, he's a dynamic guard. He could score. He could score at all the levels, and he shows how great of a passer he is, and that was on full display today because he can score whenever he wants, but it's like he's got that really great passing ability. He's a really good player.
Jordan Keys in the starting lineup today, and he showed some athleticism today. And I haven't seen that from him so far. I'm sure you have in practice, but man, he can fly.
Yeah, I mean, we got Jordan from Richland College, and John Havens was his coach, and John was just raving about him. So when I got the job, he was the first kid we really went after, and we drove all the way out to Davenport, Iowa, to make sure he knew that's who we wanted. So Jordan is a high-flying kid, and he's a very good shooter, and he's starting to really come into his game right now.
You mentioned being able to get the bench involved, and got a lot of players a lot of minutes who don't usually get to play. So tell us about some of those guys and what you saw from them and how that's going to be helpful going forward.
Well, we have a very good bench. It's getting them confidence to come into the game and execute because they do really well in practice. But I like our bench. I think we've got some dynamic kids. Adrian Homebrecker is very athletic and he's long. You have Jalen Arnett coming off who came from Randall with us, and he's a real athletic kid. Zach LeBlanc, Nate Davis, Sean Paradise. I mean, the Eric Amadio, Ellie coming off the bench now, replacing Rowe. It's a very good bench, and I'm trying to find a way that we could work them in, and we're trying to figure that out as we go.
So what's your goal for as far as like a rotation is concerned? How many guys would you like to be playing?
If you go back and look at the Carroll game in Montana, we probably played 8 guys. The problem that happened there, we were at 7,000 feet altitude, and we took Carroll down right to the wire. They're the 5th-rated team in the country. And then we go back the next day and play Montana Tech, and, the altitude just killed us. But, in rotation would be 7, 8 guys, 3 or 4 off the bench would be where we want to get to.
Good game for Romario Spence in limited minutes today. He did have 4 fouls, but only played 11 minutes, got 9 points and 4 rebounds. Looked like you were trying to go and establish him early. Obviously, a big size advantage today with Langston, but inside, and he really proved himself for you today.
Romario's been very good all year, and the challenge is finding ways to get him the ball. We run a spread out. Everybody knows what we do, but now we have a little bit of a dynamic feature with Rowe, and then you have Ellie. But no, Rowe is very good around the basket. He's got a great touch, and then he's wanting to prove me wrong and knocks down a 3 today.
Yeah, so I think that's his first 3 that he's made since he's been
right.
Here. And Dadrian had one as well. I think that was his first, or it wasn't his first of the year, but he's showing the ability to step out. So really, all of the guys that are big are good shooters for you. It looks like.
Yeah, and that gives us an advantage. We got some guys that could stretch out defenses. So now we play some of these other teams that have some bigger guys. They're going to have to figure out ways to guard us. And by us showing that we can knock down those shots, it's going to be very beneficial for us. And I was just very pleased with those guys.
Holiday break coming up. What does your schedule look like for the next week or so?
So we're going to practice Monday, Tuesday, and give the guys off Wednesday. And then they're going to go home. And, the biggest fear about going home is eating mom's Thanksgiving food. And then you got to come back Monday and get back in shape. But we'll go Monday, Tuesday, and then we'll come back for the following Monday and get back after it.
Got a road trip to UNT Dallas and then a home game with Sagu. I don't know how much you've been able to look forward to those 2 games, but more conference games coming up for you and then a non-conference break. So what have you seen from your upcoming opponents?
Well, being around this conference for the last 9 years, it's the best conference in America. So you could be in first place one night and 7th place the next night. UNT goes to play and plays USAO very tight. And Sagu's one of the best teams in the country, and they're a Final Four team from last year. So no easy breaks, tough road trip coming up, and that's why these first 2 games were so important for us to get off to a good start.
Off to a great start in conference play, 100-71. The final score, OCU defeats Langston. That'll do it for us. Thanks for joining us, OCUsports.com.